Well. And welcome to the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast number 17, live but recorded from the Go Spurs Go Memes Network studio. I am your host, Ray. I am joined by the full crew this morning, Buddy, Frank, Sean, and Jack. Gentlemen, how are we doing this lovely Sunday morning?
Excellent.
Jack, how are you, man?
Things are good. I love this time of year. As I've said before, sports are... We got football back for a little bit.
Yep.
Got some bowl games started yesterday.
Fantastic.
Had 4 top 10 teams in basketball lose.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
I'll tell you what I don't like, though.
What don't you like?
I hate raking leaves.
I don't think anybody likes raking leaves.
For Christmas, the only thing I'm asking for Christmas is a chainsaw.
That's actually a good gift.
Or a mulcher for that.
Or a mulcher for that, man. That's true. Buddy, how are you, my friend? You weren't with us last week. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back. I've been on vacation. I apologize. I had a good vacation. I'm come back nice and relaxed and ready to go.
I'm glad you were able to finally have a honeymoon, because you did get married in Hawaii, but
yes,
you still needed a honeymoon somewhere. So.
But I have to tell you, like I said, I'm going to give suggestions to you guys going forward.
Don't go to Corpus for your honeymoon.
Don't get married
in Hawaii for the wedding.
All of these are excellent suggestions, but the one suggestion I would say is that don't ever take vacations with other people that matter. Like if I would redo everything again, I would only go with Frank. Frank would have been the only person I would have taken out of the whole thing.
But you didn't go on vacation this time.
No. I'm talking about the Hawaii part of it.
Oh, the Hawaii part of it. I was like, Frank, were you in Vegas too? Was it a clone of Frank that was here last week?
He teleported.
Well, I had a good week. Thursday was fantastic as always. Pretty much the whole crew, with the exception of Buddy, went to go see the Book of Mormon at the Majestic on Thursday. And if you haven't seen that show, it's just an amazing show.
It really is.
If you're easily offended, I do not recommend that you go and see the show. But it's just a grand old time. I think the last time that we saw it, we were all so shwasted that a lot of us didn't remember most of it. And the sad thing about us being so shwasted last time was that we had actually paid for suite tickets. And we actually had our own waiter-waitress to bring us drinks, and we didn't even use them because we couldn't handle another ounce. And I still don't understand how we got so bad for that show. Because this show, I guess we matured within the 3 years the last time we saw it because none of us were wasted at all.
I don't get it either.
I don't understand.
I don't know how all of us were so bad last time. And this time it was like, oh, yeah, we're teaching kindergarten tomorrow morning. Like, nobody was bad.
Nobody was bad at all. It was really funny.
It was kind of a letdown.
Well, the funny thing about it is that normally after a show, we'll all go to the local bar downtown, and they know us there already. They see us when we're coming in. They're very welcoming to us. We went in there, and I don't even think we lasted past 10:15, 10:30. We were all just exhausted.
I didn't even drink.
Such old people. Yeah, you didn't. You just had a glass of water. I had one beer and I was ready to go home. Jack, you had one drink. And that was it. I mean, it was just really funny. But the show is amazing.
What the hell happened to us?
We grew old, I guess.
This is so sad.
I was exhausted. I was ready to go home, and I still had to go pick up the girls because,
I got Whataburger.
Yeah, I got Whataburger too because I was starving as well. But the whole night was just a rush for me. Maddie had a basketball game. Yeah. Castle Hills had to rush all the way to Southside, drop them off at the Sitters, then get downtown. Before we actually met up with you guys, it was almost like 15 minutes to curtain. So it was just a really rushed night. But, I mean, the show is amazing. We had such a blast laughing. And, of course, it's always great to be able to go to shows with good friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, there was 23 of us together, so we had our own little section. Felt pretty bad for anybody that was around us because, I wouldn't say we're that obnoxious group, but we are pretty loud, and we're just having fun with each other. So
we usually get other people to laugh with us too.
Very true. Very true.
It usually always happens.
Anyways, guys, I think it's time to do the news.
Is this the ongoing
I feel
joke?
like there's something I know, but I can't place it.
What was that little audio?
I have no idea, actually.
I don't know. I heard a lady talking. I don't know what that was. Anyways, to the news. Paul George has been fined $35,000 for the post-game interview the other night where he criticized the officiating and said a bad word on TV. Kyrie Irving will make his season debut today against the 76ers. The Cavaliers' Mo Williams will also be out today. He's still injured. Sixers officially announced the team has come to terms with Mike D'Antoni. He will actually become an associate head coach now for the Sixers, which that whole thing I don't understand one bit. They have a head coach, but now they have an associate head coach.
I think because he's going to become the head coach soon.
I don't think so. What's his name? Is it Brown?
Yeah.
I believe
Mike Brown.
There you go. He's completely 100% into the Sixers. They just extended him for another couple
Yeah,
years.
they just extended him. It's
I
really
don't.
strange how like they actually bought him on.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole D'Antoni thing. Besides, trying to
Offensive
get his
efficiency.
experience, I think is what it is.
Well, they rank last in offensive efficiency in the whole league.
Right.
So they figured that D'Antoni would bring his, what's the word? His innovative experience over to them to bring in. I hate Mike D'Antoni.
I do too, and I don't think he's that great of a coach. His
he's
teams
not.
have done nothing.
I don't think he's that great of a coach. I don't hate him. I don't think he's a bad coach. When he was with, was it the Knicks for a little bit?
Yeah, he was with the Knicks for a little bit. Knicks, Lakers, Suns.
When he
Suns
was-
is really
Suns is where he got it.
where everybody remembers him from, right?
When he was with the Knicks and he was giving interviews, you could tell he was starting to get chippy.
Well,
And he was-
Because they were horrible.
They were absolutely
treated him
horrible.
bad.
And then they're like, well, it's just because it's a process and it just comes along. It's like, dude, they're awful. I was like, I
They're
don't know
absolutely
what
awful.
to tell you other
The
than
Knicks
the
are
fact they're
just awful. They're still awful right now. I think they just hit 500 this year, which is better than what
They're
they've
much
been. But
better
still,
than this year than they were.
That draft
last year.
pick, Porzingis,
Porzingis?
yes,
Very good.
That
he
kid
is
really good.
surprisingly good. I was like, wow, third pick. Way to go, kid.
I feel bad. What I think is going to end up happening with him is that the Knicks aren't going to get any better over his rookie contract, and I think eventually he's going to end up leaving.
A Patrick Ewing-esque type thing where they never win and he's just there forever.
Well, he won't be there forever. I'm telling you. End of his rookie contract, he'll be gone. That's just my opinion.
That's really sad.
The NBA plans to suspend Houston guard Ty Lawson for 2 games as a result of a 2014 DUI. Houston is also supposedly shopping Lawson around because he hasn't done anything for them recently. Free agent Carlos Boozer, the Booze, has met with the Milwaukee Bucks front office, and he's looking about doing a potential deal. So more than likely, he will be playing in a Bucks uniform by the time we come back in 2016.
Does he have anything left?
I don't know. I think years ago,
He was good.
It was the upside.
Yeah.
Boozer's pretty good. Everybody wants him. But then he just kind of flaked out.
Yeah.
He really didn't do anything. He didn't do much for Chicago. I think most people remember him when he was with the Jazz.
Yeah.
The Jazz gave him that huge contract, of course. But I don't think that he's anybody that – obviously, he's not a player that everybody wants because he wasn't picked up during the offseason. We'll see what happens with him. The Cavs say guard Iman Shumpert has a right groin strain. He was out versus the Thunder and is still questionable pending further evaluation. No trade restrictions have been lifted on LaMarcus Aldridge, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, David West, Bonner, Boban, Simmons. Yeah. And I wouldn't worry about that, though. That's just what they have to do contract-wise. I don't think those guys are going anywhere except for maybe Bonner.
That'd be
because he
great.
still has a unguaranteed deal that becomes guaranteed at the beginning of the year.
Trash can.
Yeah, trash. Kings forward Eric Moreland will require surgery after sustaining a fracture of the 5th metatarsal in his left foot. He got injured during practice. The Kings supposedly are going to trade Caron Butler. They were looking for some experience to lead the young group in Sacramento. He hasn't done anything either, so look for Caron Butler to be traded. The Rockets do expect Dwight Howard to opt out next summer, but I would expect if the Rockets are thinking that they're going to probably trade Dwight Howard away this year. And the reason why I say this is because if they just wait for him to opt out, Houston gets nothing besides more money in their cap. So I would expect that the Rockets are going to try to trade Dwight Howard out. I know that the Miami Heat is kind of inquiring about him. They are looking for a big man, and I will kind of go back to the Heat in a little bit. Did you have something, bud?
I want to talk about the Howard thing real quick.
Go for it.
I'm a little confused as to what kind of situation is he going to be able to go to that's going to be better for him overall, right? You go to Miami. Let's say he goes to Miami,
Yep.
right? You go to Miami where they have this guy Hassan Whiteside. They talked really big about this guy, Hassan Whiteside, right?
He is a badass. Like,
He is.
Whiteside is a badass.
If he is on, he is actually one of the best big men in the game. But when he's off, he's really, really bad.
Right.
And he is actually sort of a mental case. He does some really weird things, like mentally, like as far as like he talks too much trash. He does some things on social media that sort of worry the Heat and stuff like that. But they seem to want to keep that guy. So if he wants to go to Miami, why would he want to go to Miami?
Well, here's why. Let me kind of explain to you real
Please.
quick. The
Miami.
problem is for Miami is they don't have the money to keep Whiteside, Bosch, and I think it's Wade. The contracts are coming up really soon.
Wade's is the 1 year, right?
Yeah. So that's the problem right there. So I think it is Wade. So the problem is that they have to figure out a way to be able, if they want to keep Whiteside, they have to figure out a way to be able to keep him under the cap, and that's probably not going to happen. So the rumors going around is that they're actually looking to trade Whiteside to Houston and to bring Dwight Howard down to Miami.
Now that would make sense.
So
In that case.
that's the whole thing there. But the other thing that I was going to be going into in just a little bit is about DeMarcus Cousins is that's another person that supposedly all these teams are contacting Sacramento about because they want him. Boston, the Rockets, and the Heat have all been trying to talk to Sacramento about getting DeMarcus Cousins. I don't see the Kings doing that, but there's so much drama in Sacramento right now. I wouldn't be surprised if something came out of that. I mean, the Kings aren't doing great right now. Rajon Rondo, of course, there was all that controversy that I'll get to in a little bit, what happened this week. DeMarcus Cousins having team-only meetings. I mean, there's just a lot of drama happening there in Sacramento. So we'll see what happens there, but I really do think that Dwight Howard's probably going to get traded before the trade deadline in February.
You talk about a pariah on a team.
No kidding.
I can't recall a good effect that Dwight Howard's ever had on a team.
No. And we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago about Dwight Howard. I mean, he had Kevin McHale, he had Akeem Olajuwon to teach him a thing or two of the best post players in NBA history, and the dude learned nothing.
Yeah.
He's absolute trash. And then, of course, his injuries recently, he I don't know if he's thinking he's going to get a max deal somewhere else, but that's not going to happen. Who's going to spend that much money on Dwight Howard? He's never been able to be part of a team. He was horrible. He was pretty good in Orlando.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was.
Okay, he was good there. Went to the Lakers, trash. Went to the Rockets, trash. I don't see him going to another team and surprising everyone and becoming this MVP. I just don't see that happening.
Because of the way the league has changed too. When you think about it too, somebody like Howard has been rendered like completely obsolete.
It's true. It is the presence of the guards now. It's not about the big guy in the center anymore. It's no longer the era of the Olajuwon, Robinson, and Ewing. That's all gone. It's all about the small ball now. So I don't see him getting a max deal anyways, but we'll see. Nets guard Shane Larkin has suffered a concussion at practice this past Tuesday, and he's now under the NBA's concussion protocol guidelines. Hornets say Al Jefferson is cleared to play from a calf strain, and he will be active, which means he has already started his 5-game suspension, which was passed down by the NBA. Grizzlies' Brendan Wright says he'll miss 6 to 8 weeks because of knee surgery. The Pelicans are reportedly shopping Omar Asik.
He's good.
He's okay.
I like Asik.
You like him?
He's good defensively. Offensively, he's awful.
See, that's what I'm kind of looking at there, but you are right. True. And as I was mentioning earlier, the Celtics, the Celtics, Heat, and Bulls have all reported expressed interest in acquiring DeMarcus Cousins. NBA referee Bill Kennedy announced this past week that he is gay after Rajon Rondo made anti-gay slurs towards him. So there was a lot of drama with that. Rajon Rondo did come out and apologize. He said heat of the moment, which to me isn't an excuse.
No.
But everybody kind of came out to Bill Kennedy's defense, said how wonderful of a referee he was, what a great guy he is, which, I mean, I think we all know that. But that is a horrible thing to kind of go out there and start making those slurs. And finally, Bradley Beal did re-injure his right fibula. Of course, he was out for the Spurs and Wizards. More news when we have it. So, guys, we have a great show today. We're going to be having a Spurs discussion. San Antonio Stars and Spurs in-arena host Jorge Alvarez will be joining us today. We'll be doing an interview with him, and we will also do Star Wars trivia during On the Fly. Of course, this is Star Wars week with The Force Awakens that opened up on Friday. Be back in a bit. And we're back, and it's time to talk Spurs. Gentlemen, last week we kind of talked about the Lakers game, so now we're going forward with the next couple of games. We have Atlanta, we have the Jazz, we have the Wizards, and the Clippers. Spurs are doing amazing at home. They are 15-0 at home now. I mean, the chemistry is coming together. I would say it's a bit early. I kind of expected this to kind of happen a little bit later, but it is very positive to see. They're working together. Aldridge is getting way more comfortable. Let's kind of start with the Atlanta game, and we'll just kind of bring up things that we're seeing and we're noticing. Jack?
Yeah, so a week ago, it was not even a pretty game. We killed the Hawks. It was
that's an understatement of the year. There.
What was the meme? It was like the Hawks, like, we never want to play San Antonio again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Atlanta Hawks social media won that freaking night
Yes.
by showing we will never play them again. And I think the Spurs tweeted out something about check out this magic, and it was like the passing between players. And the Hawks replied to that, and they were like, please, God, no more.
It's so crazy how, like, they dominated the Hawks. Like, since I would think that Budenholzer would have, like, a little bit more of a track, would be able to understand us better.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that at the end of the game, Popovich actually went to the middle of the scores table to greet Budenholzer and to say hi.
That's right.
And he just turned around, waved, and walked off. And so Pop was just kind of left hanging there. And the media picked
he
up
waves
on
his
it.
hand like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and he was just kind of like, okay, which I can understand. I'm sure Mike was really frustrated with how bad his team did. It's against his mentor. He wants to do well. And I don't think the Hawks have beaten Popovich
since Budenholzer
has taken over.
And they've beaten them pretty handily every game, I think. I
Right.
don't think any of the games have been under 10 or 15 points.
No, I think that the Hawks did beat the Spurs in the preseason this year, but, I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So, but the Spurs just completely dismantled Atlanta. I mean...
And in the Hawks' defense, I mean, this was their 4th game in 5 nights, right?
Right.
So they were already on the road like the whole time. All the games that they had played were on the road. They were on the end of a back-to-back at that point, too. They had played Dallas, I think, the night before. They looked really ragged. I mean, like, for instance, I expected Teague to come out really hard, and
he didn't. No,
awful.
It was horrible.
Awful.
And then the thing, I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but I'm starting to see this when Spurs are away. If the Spurs start really kind of taking it to the home team, the crowd actually starts cheering for the Spurs.
Yes, I am starting to notice that more.
And I see, that's the thing is, I don't know if it's just Spurs fans that happen to be in that arena that are excited about that, and they're getting louder and louder. But it really does kind of seem like the opposing crowd is starting to cheer for them as well. Especially, I think we really saw that with the Philadelphia game. I mean, poor Sixers fans, they don't really have anything to cheer for. They went nuts every time Boban got the ball. But I mean, I've said it before. We're kind of seeing Boban mania right now. Everyone's really excited to see this 7'4" guy that is just towering over everyone, playing really well. And I mean,
fantastic.
he just humiliated the Sixers. But it is really interesting to see the opposing crowd start to cheer for the Spurs. I'm starting to see that more and more.
Very true.
Yeah.
Just some highlights for it. We only gave up 25 points in the first half, which was 13 in the first, 12 in the second.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Which that's crazy. I mean, we scored 25 points in the second quarter alone, and then had 32 in the third. The stats, it was pretty even. I was actually surprised that the starters played as much as they did. Everyone played at least 20. Both Kawhi and Tim played over 30 minutes a game.
Wow.
Which I mean, isn't bad by any means, but for a blowout, you would think that they would spread out the love a little bit more. Probably the one bad thing that we didn't do well, we turned the ball over 23 times.
Yeah, it was a messy game.
That was
14 of those were by the. I mean, you had Tim, Danny Green, and Manu all had 4 turnovers each. Aldridge had 3. There were 14 turnovers by the starters, which you'd really like.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to play a ton. I mean, playing 30 minutes a game,
right?
You think you can hold it, but we did shoot 50% from 3. So
that makes up all of that, and then
it really does.
21 to 22 free throws too. That's the other thing too.
All the difference as far as with the Hawks. I mean, Paul Millsap was really their only guy that got it going. He had 22.
And I kind of feel bad for him because every time he was making a basket, the crowd tried to cheer him on.
Yeah,
but it was just
good job.
Nobody else even had like double digits. Like it was really, it was just a sad game. Let's move on.
Okay, to the Spurs versus Jazz. Of course, the Spurs won 118-81. That was another blowout here at the AT&T Center. Jazz shot about 40%, 27% from three-point land. They scored 81 points, 12 fast break points, 38 points in the paint. They had 12 turnovers, and the Spurs were able to score 18 points off of that. Spurs shot 56%, 43% from 3 points. They had 21 fast break points, 40 points in the paint, and we only had 11 turnovers, which was really good. I think the big thing for this game was the third quarter for the Spurs. They scored 39 points in the third quarter. I mean, mind you, if you look at over the quarters what the Spurs scored, they scored 29 in the first, 30 in the second, 39 in the third, and then 20 in the fourth quarter. But by that time, there was no way that Utah was even going to come back. Let's see. Kawhi had a great game, 22 points. Aldridge did as well, 18 points. Tony Parker, 18 points as well. Off the bench, Patty Mills had 11, as did Matt Bonner had 10. So that was kind of good to see Matt Bonner out there. He was 4 or 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3 points. Again, the Spurs just dismantled the Jazz. It was really no contest. They just took it to them and kept taking it to them. Enough said.
Well, just because we brought it up with the last game, Utah was playing its 5th game in 7 nights.
Right.
So, yeah, they were tired. Are the Spurs getting lucky with the schedule? who knows? But
they have had one of the, and I'm going to try to not look at the Spurs with the rose-colored glasses thing here.
Sure.
Right? The Spurs have had a pretty simple schedule in the last, like, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
I agree.
And of course, ESPN points this out that, oh, well, they've had a pretty easy schedule. I'm like, whatever, right? But the thing is that you have to know that they take advantage of the games that they can actually take advantage of. Now, we're
Right.
going to get into the Clippers game here, which was a great, great test for them, I think. But they need to also show how well they are defensively minded now, because this is one of the things that we worried about. Me and Ray talked about this a lot when we were talking about, we were looking at the preseason and we're like, they're not all that great defensively.
No,
then here we are, they're on a historic mark for defense right now at this point.
Yeah, and
So-
like I said, we were giving Parker so much.
sorts of
Because
heat.
he was just playing horrible, but he's healthy. He's turned it on. He's on fifth gear now. He's playing really well. His shots are falling. He's hitting threes. He's getting into the paint. He really just completely turned it around.
Yep, and that's the thing. I think that we can use these teams to figure out the little kinks that we have in our armor. I think we look excellent when we're on. We look excellent, and we can look excellent against any team at that point. So we'll go into the next game because the next game was pretty much a drubbing as well.
Right.
The next game was the Wizards game, right? So we got a revenge. We won 114-95, right? In that game, pretty much dominated. In this case, Duncan didn't play in this game. What's his name started? Marjanovic started, which was fantastic, by the way. They had me a little bit worried, too. In the first half of this game, Washington was competing. They were really giving the Spurs a lot of trouble. This guy, who I hadn't actually seen play very much as well, Kelly Oubre. I want you guys to remember this guy's name, Kelly Oubre. I've been watching this guy the last 3 games. I just happened to catch him on NBA TV, ESPN here and there. That guy is really slick. That guy had a great shot. He took Leonard to the hole and dunked on him at one point. I was like, wow. I was like, I don't see that happen very often as well. And he was very active defensively. And he was a draft. I don't know what draft pick he was for the Wizards. I'll have the great statistician Jack look that up. But he was their top draft pick this year for the Wizards. And I have to say, he's looking really good. But they started Marjanovic, and Marjanovic actually disrupted a lot of the things that they did. Right? He actually ended up with 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and only 15 minutes of work for Marjanovic, which is really good for him. But again, like I said, overall, they actually wiped the floor with them in the second half. The second half, they came around and reminded them that they were the Spurs, and they just pretty much stomped them, right? Leonard scored 27 in this game, so he actually came on in the second half, went 4 for 7 for threes in this game. Aldridge had a pretty solid game, not the greatest game ever. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds in this game. And off the bench, you have Mills and Ginobili leading the team with 11 points each. Mills picking up where he's leaving off as well. He's been playing fantastic all year for us as well. He's plus 16 in overall efficiency in the plus minus as well. So I'm happy with the way that the overall performance in this game was as well. And again, we got our revenge on them, which is what I was really happy about. And I saw DeJuan Blair come back in this game too, which
that's right.
and then Marjanovic just straight up owned him. Oh, he just owned him.
Well, I laughed because they got audio of DeJuan Blair at the scores table after he played Boban for a little bit. And he turned around and he told the people at the stores, he yelled out, he cussed, he was like, "That's one big mother."
Yeah, he was probably not used to. He was probably not used to that as well.
That's funny.
The Spurs shot 53% in this game. Again, a good shooting game as well, and they kept Washington to only 42% in the game. Spurs didn't shoot all that great in threes in this game, so you're looking at 36%. That's pretty average, you know what I mean? But they were 8 for 22. It seems like they shot a lot of threes in that point, right? And this goes back to the thing that I'm sort of a little bit concerned about. I'm hearing Pop say, "Oh, well, we're not a great 3-point shooting team. We're not like we were in the past," but yet I'm seeing that we're constantly shooting over 20 a game, and I'm thinking to myself, those threes always bring us back in the games and get our stride going off, right? So I'm not completely sure what exactly Popovich's whole thing is with the whole 3-point thing. I mean, I see that we've been shooting more threes when we get into this panic mode.
I think it's just standard Pop response about it because everyone.
But the 3 thing has just been specifically weird to me because I do see that they've been taking a lot of threes. Even just, I'm not more than any other year, but he made it seem like they're not taking that many threes.
Well, it's not the Spurs game. We know that the Spurs game is to slow it down. Work, pass, get
but
the basket.
But it seems like they're always looking for Mills or Ginobili on a 3. It always seems like that to me.
Always looking.
I think they go for the open shot.
Yeah.
And just the way that the offense runs. And when you have guys that shoot the 3 in the game, they're going to go spot up. And just the way the offense works, they'll find the open guy because they would rather take an open 3 than a contested 2.
And I agree. And
Yeah.
I'm not like dissing the 3. I personally love the fact that we shoot the 3s. I would hate that if we were. I remember when the Spurs teams were bad 3-point shooting teams, when we had a guy named David Wingate shooting 3s all the time. Does anybody remember that?
David Wingate.
God,
Wow.
what a waste of life
funny.
that was.
No kidding.
I mean, and it's so like I'm happy the way we shoot, but it's just funny how like I always remember hearing Popovich saying, "Oh no, we're not a great 3-point shooting team." It's like really, it's like it seems like that's all you do a lot of times.
Well, and then here's another thing to kind of add on top of that is that this week, Danny Green passed Larry Bird in the amount of threes in NBA history. I mean, like in history,
I
like,
didn't see that. Wow.
yeah, it came out. There was a little infographic about it and everything that he actually passed Larry Bird on that list. And Danny Green said it himself, like, I would never even put myself in the same league as Larry Bird, let alone to find out that I've actually passed him in the amount of threes.
Which is shocking.
Which is just completely shocking because, I mean, I don't even think Danny Green's played anywhere near as much as Larry Bird did.
Not anywhere close.
So I'm going to look back on that, but I know I did see an info thing that went up and said that he had passed him. So I'll look that up another bit just to make sure. I don't want to make things up on this podcast. We don't do that. So
Was it
I'll verify that.
Career 3s?
Yeah, it was career threes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, by the way, did you find out what Kelly Oubre was?
He was a 15th pick out of Kansas.
Kansas, right?
Kansas.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's
funny.
where I
He's
remember him from.
He's only averaging 4 points a game.
Yeah, it's weird.
Plays
No,
less
they
than 10 minutes.
hadn't been playing him much.
Yeah.
In the last 3 games, I've noticed they've been playing him much. And I was like, man, this guy is not bad. I was really shocked at how good he was. And they were even commenting on it as well on the sportscast. I was like, wow, he's actually not too bad. You know, he plays on a bad team though. So I'll let Ray go into the Clippers game though. I guess is what we're going into.
Well, talk about stress.
Yeah.
It was, you know, of course, as a Spurs fan, we love seeing the Spurs just drill into teams. Yes, we love when the Spurs are winning so much that Boban can come in. We can see Jonathan Simmons, which we need to talk more about Jonathan Simmons because that kid has been playing amazingly, and Pop has been rewarding him with more playing time. And it's just really great because I love the energy that he brings out on the floor, and I love seeing Kawhi and Jonathan on the floor at the same time. That to me is like human highlight reel because you don't know what they're going to do, their speed, their defense. Their offense is great. I'm just very, very impressed with Jonathan Simmons. I'm so glad that we have him on the team. Anyways, back to the Clippers game. Big game for San Antonio because, of course, this is the team that knocked the Spurs out of the playoffs last year. So, of course, everyone's thinking revenge. Everyone wants to get back at the Clippers. Nobody likes that team. It is what it is. It is. It is our new rival, I would dare say. You know, everyone talks about how the Spurs and Lakers are a big rivalry, and it is, but I think the Clippers have become the new rival for the Spurs just because of that playoff series last year. It really did burn Spurs fans for us to be knocked out of the first round. So here came the game Friday night, and it was close. It was a battle bruiser. Spurs pulled it out in the fourth quarter and were able to take that win, stay undefeated at home. But, I mean, the Clippers played them really well.
Yes.
Their defense was really good. I dare say that if it wasn't for Hack-a-Jordan...
That's what I was going to say.
If it wasn't for Hack-a-Jordan, we probably could have lost that game very easily.
I think truly the only thing that really saved them in that game was disrupting them with the Hack-a-Jordan.
Completely, because it does. It completely takes away all their momentum and everything. And you can just see the frustration in Jordan's face. You could see the frustration on the team. And I loved when the Spurs kept doing it and Doc Rivers couldn't get Jordan out of the game because he kept trying. But there just wasn't enough time by the time, you know, to get the next player in. The Spurs were already fouling him again.
The Spurs were already in the bonus like with 9 minutes to go.
It was like, yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, God.
But it works. And I find it interesting because you have some NBA analysts that are like,
they hate
this
that.
is a smart thing. This is a very smart thing for the Spurs to do. And you have other people who say this is the worst thing ever. This isn't NBA basketball. This is ridiculous. And I'm like, you know what? It's strategy.
We take advantage of what we can get in front of us. Look, it's just this, and I hate that. Like when we bring up the things like we want to play that devil's advocate thing about, oh, well, you're going to take advantage of things. Look, I'll tell you right now. You want to talk about the Warriors, for instance, right? Like we'll talk about the Warriors and they're so fantastic. They are the biggest menace in moving screens. They have so many moving screens. It is ridiculous. And you wonder how somebody like Curry and Thompson get open all the time. You watch their big men. When they come off those screens, those guys are freaking moving. And I tell you, the way that they worked around it, though, is that they don't actually move the pivot foot is what they do. What these guys do is, like, people like, and what's his name is the smartest about it all, is the big man, Bill Bogut. Bogut is the smartest out of all of them, right? What he does is that Curry will come on the front of Bogut and have his defender coming around him. But what he does is, instead of like usually going laterally, like going left to right on the screen, what he does is he does a little circle around the guy, right? And so what Bogut does is he just rotates his pivot foot around. So he rotates his hip around to be able to distract the guy off of him, the defender off of him for that a second or so to give Curry that thing. But that's a moving screen. He's moving. He's literally moving, and it happens all the time. It's why I can't stand watching the Warriors on offense, because they give so much. Their ball movement is fantastic, but they take advantage of the way that the rules can go around it, and everybody does it. It just goes into that whole thing. Like, for instance, when you get into the late in the 2-minute thing, for instance, right, or late in the game, and you have to start the clock, you're out of timeouts. What do? You foul the guy. It doesn't matter who you foul, they foul him, and everybody hates that. But it's just taking advantage of that option as well.
Well, to go back on your point, Ray, sure enough, Danny Green did pass Larry Bird.
I knew it.
On all-time three-pointers made. Danny Green now has 653 threes. Surprisingly, Larry Bird only has 649.
I think it's because there was not a big three-point time at that time.
I agree with you.
That's very true.
I really do agree with you.
Because that's only 182nd all-time. And you've got several players. Mario Chalmers has hit more threes. Mike Connolly, Rudy Gay,
Chalmers.
Eric,
awful.
There's a ton of people that
talk about
have made more
Chalmers.
threes than that.
Let me tell you my issue with Mario Chalmers.
Okay, here we go. Man, Chalmers is awful. I'm going to agree with you with everything on
I
this.
cannot stand Mario
He's
Chalmers, but
awful.
let me explain this, because anytime Chalmers' name comes out, I'm going to cringe because I just want to punch the guy in the back of the head.
What about O.J. Mayo?
Mayo, I don't have a problem with.
Okay.
I really don't
He's
have.
made more threes too.
Okay, I don't have a problem with him. But let me tell you about Mario Chalmers. So a couple years ago, Derrick Rose and the Memphis Tigers, Final Four against Mario Chalmers, Kansas Jayhawks, right?
Right.
I'm in a bracket contest. The prize is $2,500.
Ouch.
My winner, and I was the only guy that had Memphis and Derrick Rose.
Oh.
And Chalmers hits
The three-pointer.
the three-pointer
That's
to send them into overtime, and then he hits another three-pointer to seal the game for Kansas. Ray loses $2,500. I will avenge my loss.
we will break his knees.
I will find Mario Chalmers in a dark corner somewhere.
That is awful. You're probably not the
that's
only
funny.
person in the nation that probably happened to,
my
because
God.
that was such a random thing that he did.
It was, and the thing, it was here in San Antonio.
Yes,
it was here at the Alamo
Yeah.
Dome for that Final Four. And it just, every time I hear that name, I cringe. I don't wish the guy harm, but
Broken leg got
a broken leg would be nice.
We completely got off the Clipper thing.
We completely went off. Sorry about that. Anyways, that's it for Spurs discussion. We got to go. We're out of time already. The crew will be back in just a bit. From the creators of Belt on a Shelf, Chancla on a Shelf.
Mom, what's this? Mijo, quítate. ¿Qué estás haciendo? No, quítate de ahí. No, hombre, no.
Keep your children in check with Chancla on a Shelf. Order now, and we'll send you 2 for $19.99.
Quítate de ahí. ¿Qué te dije? No. Muévete. No. Ay, ay, ay. No, Mom, no. Not the chancla on the shelf.
And we're back, and I am overjoyed to have a good friend here in studio with me. This is my friend Jorge Alvarez. You may know Jorge. He is the in-arena host for the San Antonio Stars and soon to be for the Spurs as well.
That's right, yep.
So Jorge, thank you so much for joining us here on Go Spurs Go Memes. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm just excited to have you here because, we're good friends. You and I die laughing with each other all the time, and, we're going to kind of talk about you, see what things going on with you and everything. So Jorge, how are you been, man?
I've been good, man. I'm really excited to be here. I listen to the podcast. And,
Woohoo!
Yeah, woohoo! Well, I think that I was probably one of the first people to like your Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
You were like, hey, man, we bumped into each other. You're like, hey, like my Facebook page. And I was like, it's not going to go anywhere. And now, thousands of likes later, and a podcast, and here we are. And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, and here we are.
As I sit on my throne talking down to you.
Yeah. He's actually sitting higher than I am. So, yeah.
All right, Jorge. So tell us about yourself, Jorge.
It all started back in Mexico when my parents they came over. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a performer, host, MC. I do a lot of gigs like that. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. I work at SeaWorld.
Yes.
I've been the performer there for about 6 years now, 6 seasons now. Everything from singing, dancing, talking in a microphone, costume character, anything they need, I'll be. And,
It's true, yeah.
So I've just been doing that, and of course there's other things sprinkled in there as well, and
Probably one of the hardest working guys that I know.
Oh, stop
like I always tease you and I always say you're Jamaican because you're just constantly working. I mean, it really was a struggle to get Jorge in here. Based off of his schedule, because you are always constantly working.
I'm always
and
busy.
you're always getting more work, which is fantastic for you and everything.
It's good.
So how long have you been a Spurs fan?
Since I can remember. I can't even put a date on it or how old I was. I remember waking up one day and knowing that the silver and black were. That, like, if you look in my closet, that's all I have. Spurs shirts and, regular clothes for other, daily use. But literally, since I can remember, I've been a Spurs fan, and it's been great.
Awesome. So how did it start for you, Jorge? How did you get into working with Spurs Sports Entertainment?
Well, working with Spurs Sports Entertainment was actually by some chance, because everyone knows Chuck Carreau,
of course,
Winter Chicken
good
Dinner.
friend of the show.
Yeah. He and I started working together for Halloween or Howl-O-Scream at SeaWorld, I want to say 3 years ago. And we were the same character. And, he was kind of like a mentor to me.
Sure.
And so as we progressed and every year that I did the show, I would always inquire. I'd be like, what do you do and how do you do it and this and that. And one night, I actually he allowed me to shadow him for a game, and we got the right, people to let us do that. And so I walked around with him the entire game, and as he was hosting, and I think that was like the first time I kind of showed face for the company. And after that, I always joked around with him. I'm like, man, I'm going to take over. I'm going to try to take over. Of course, nobody can take his
Nobody can
take his spot.
But Chuck needs a day off sometimes.
Exactly. So from there, actually, they had needed a new host for the Stars because I forget what happened, but one of the other hosts either left or was leaving town or something like that, and so they emailed me about an audition, and it was out of nowhere. I mean, I had shadowed Chuck, and literally months later, just boom, got an email, auditioned in an empty AT&T center. It was incredible. It was awesome. It was something that I'll never forget for sure.
So when you audition for the Spurs, like, how does it work? Are you by yourself in front of like a whole panel of people, or?
Yeah. So when I did it, it was a little nerve-wracking because it was like almost there were two auditions really, because I don't know if you remember, for 2014 we had an eSpurs going on,
right? And
so they were looking for a host for that as well, and so. When I went out to audition, of course, we had the director of game operations. We had the director of like the creative, like every important person was there, and it was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was fun. And talking into mic, I've been doing it for forever, so it just came kind of natural to me. So it was fun. Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay, so you've been doing the Stars thing for a while. I think last season was your first season fully doing it, right?
No, actually, second season.
Second season. Okay,
yeah.
Apologize.
No.
So, what was the most fun thing you did being the in-arena host for the Stars?
Oh man, there's so much. The fans for the Stars are completely different.
Really?
From the Spurs. Well, not completely different. I mean, they're the same people, but It's just a different environment completely. And this year we were in the Freeman Coliseum, so it's a little smaller space.
Right, right.
The sound system and all that was a little bit less than the AT&T Center now. But that being said, the energy was still up there with, a normal game would be in the AT&T Center. I think my favorite thing that for Stars, shooting the the commercials and stuff, like the creative commercials going into it. We did a couple of I know a big thing last year was Vine Magic. So this last couple of years, and stop and go on the editing, and we did one where I was in a concession stand and I turned money into soda or soda into money, and so I grabbed $1 and I would wring it out and Pepsi would fall into a cup, and so we did a couple of those, and those shoots were really fun, and they came out great. So I think that was the most fun I had for I guess this last season. I mean, of course the games and the environment, but uniquely standing out, I think it was that.
Now, with any job, of course, there's challenges. So what would you say was the biggest challenge in you doing that?
Well, adjusting for sure. Every I would say every game is a little bit different. It just depends. If the sound is running smoothly, if the mics are on, things like that. It's just every game is a different entity in itself. So I think that's the biggest challenge, is kind of adjusting to that and having to, hey, there's a hot time out here. We're going to have to switch this promotion over here and move this over here. Things like that. That keeps you on your toes, and I think it's fun, but that is a little bit of a challenge.
And I can imagine it's pretty hectic for you as well, because, of course, you are working at SeaWorld as well. So I can just imagine that you had some days where you were at SeaWorld all day.
Yeah. Well, the summer of 2014, when I first started Stars, I also did warm-up, which is the official pregame party of the Spurs, and it's out in the Bud Light Courtyard. And it was 2 hours before the game, but for playoffs, we did 2 or 3 hours, depending on the game. And so we were in playoffs, and I did that. I also worked from morning to night, or from morning to noon at ski. So I hosted a ski show during the summer. And then I was also working Stars in between all of that. So sprinkle in maybe one day off, in 3 months, and that was a challenge. That was definitely a challenge. Not a lot of sleep.
Not a lot of sleep. I think half the time that I see you, you look like you're about to pass out because you're.
My mom is always working. Mijito. She always brings the little huevito to rub on my head.
So we talked about the Stars. You're going to start doing in-arena hosting for the Spurs along with Chuck and JC, who are both great guys. So what are you looking forward to the most about being the in-arena host during a Spurs game?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? It's an in-arena host for the Spurs game. You see Chuck, you see JC. The energy for the Spurs is something that I still haven't experienced yet. The Stars is there, but the Stars, it's not full AT&T Center. Sometimes we close out the upper bowl.
Sure.
And so, it's the energy's there for sure, and the fans are great, but there's something about, and if you've ever gone to a Spurs game, that energy.
It's just crazy.
It's incredible. So I can't wait to kind of address that type of crowd. So that's definitely a big step forward, and so I'm excited about that for sure.
Are you nervous about anything?
Yeah, I did. I've been working a couple games recently, and the last game I had a live hit with JC. It was Comic-Con night.
Okay.
And I had a live hit, and I was shaking. I was nervous. It was kind of like, I wasn't in the arena itself. We were out by the Rock and Brews, and we did just the live hit. And I was going through my lines, I was, okay, what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? And then every time, and without fail, every time I rehearse my lines, I never say it how I rehearse it. It just comes out completely different. And so that going into that, I'm just going to have to kind of buckle down and get focused in on Spurs and that kind of energy, because I know for sure, I mean, I get nervous anyways for everything, but That's
and
gonna be
it's
different.
it's so funny hearing you say that because to me you're a pro.
Oh, stop it.
You,
No,
you
no.
get there. I mean, we've worked with each other for a while now at SeaWorld, and so my experience seeing you up on stage performing, you're just good to go. And I think one of the things that I've noticed about you and Chuck is that you both just have this ability to get an audience's attention, and you're able to just get the audience to do whatever you want, and that takes talent.
Well,
you know,
it mostly takes. When I was young, I just threw tantrums and getting my mom's attention. So I think that's where it all started.
Is that where it all started?
That's where it all started.
so Comic-Con night, were you dressed up?
I was. Where's Waldo?
Nice.
So I was Waldo, and I tried to get people to search for me, and and without fail, we found you in there, and oh yeah, you did. It's like great. But you don't think when you think Comic-Con night, you don't think Where's Waldo? So I was trying to think outside the box. Everyone right now is either Star Wars or Marvel or Batman or Flash. Like those main characters.
All the big things. Right
exactly.
Now.
And so if you've ever been to a Comic-Con, I mean, you could be whatever. Like,
it doesn't matter. It's just you can dress up as whatever, and people will accept you.
It doesn't have to be comics necessarily. So that's why I dressed up as Waldo.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this, but a funny thing that I started noticing during Hollowscream is that we have people that go all out with their costumes.
Oh yeah,
and they are there purposely to get pictures for people.
Oh
to
no,
come,
yeah, we've had in working it, I have to do photo ops and stuff. I get people that come up and take photos with me, and they're, pro, full costume and everything.
Yeah.
And then they get their own line after they take photos with me. I'm like, wait a minute. And so there was a couple times, a couple years back, a family would come as a different set of characters through the whole Hollowscream, and security had to talk to them and be like, you can't do that.
Yeah,
because they were representing.
And that's so funny because I did notice that there were some people dressed up as warlocks and witches.
Mm-hmm.
It was a group of them, and they were pretending to be workers at the park.
Yeah, no,
and I was just like,
that's
oh
scary.
yeah, no, that's
scary.
not. That, yeah, it really is scary, but it is kind of interesting to see how people just kind of flock to that.
Oh yeah.
And I know you got to go to Comic-Con with the Spurs this past year.
I did. If you guys went to Comic-Con night and you saw the video of Stan Lee,
Right.
Of Ray Park, Darth Maul, obviously,
yep.
And Robert Rodriguez, I was part of the team that got that together, and so that was an incredible
Right.
day.
And I thought it was
so
funny
cool.
because that day you sent me a picture of you with Stan Lee. You were like, look.
Yeah, I posted. I was like, we're best friends.
But it was like a selfie, like a good distance away from his security. It was just funny the way you sent it.
Well, yeah, no. When I sent the picture that I sent you, I was behind a stanchion, and there was definitely 4 bodyguards. But later that day, I got to sit next to him, and talk to him a little bit. That was one thing that I thought I'd never do in life.
That's awesome.
Because you think Stan the Man Lee, he's been in every Marvel movie.
Right.
He created
He is Marvel.
Star Wars.
He is Marvel. He is Marvel.
He is basically the man. And so I was thinking, I always have a list of people that I would love to meet before they go. You know what I mean? Like Betty White or Bill Murray, people like that. And Stan Lee was one of them. And I never thought it would come true. And last minute, I'm sitting in his room while he's eating his snacks. He had a muffin and he had some Skittles and stuff. And there he was, and it was so surreal. It's so weird, but I'm so glad that the Spurs gave me that kind of opportunity.
That's
and
awesome.
It was something to remember for sure.
Cool. So what cool projects do you have coming up, Jorge? What's going on with Jorge in the future?
Jorge in the future. Wow, I'd like to know that too. No, we got some stuff lined up. Some major auditions, hopefully, that are going to land soon. But that's about all I can say.
That's cool.
Yeah, but no. Moving forward, a lot of more. I want to focus more on kind of representing myself more as a performer, as an individual. So, really pushing. Getting an agent and doing that number and because I've done commercial work, but I've always been behind the camera. I've always been on the production side of it.
Okay.
So freelance editing, freelance videography, set photography. I did a couple things that we've done that I've done is Taco Cabana. Angela Johnson with Bon Qui Qui.
Yeah.
She was part of she was a spokesperson for many years, and I got to be on set with her and do that. And the directors fell in love. So it was kind of like a Where's Waldo or Where's Jorge. So in a couple years back, if you look at the commercials, you can see my arm, my legs, my head. And I like I said, I was just a set photographer, and they put me in the commercial.
That's cool.
So eventually, I started getting more and more kind of commercial gigs like that, and we've done HEB, I've done UTSA, I've done a lot of little kind of things, and so hopefully pushing that forward on the other side of it.
Right.
So that moving forward.
Cool. And are you still doing your YouTube channel? I know you were doing videos. You were doing some fun stuff.
Well, YouTube was a long time ago. I had some videos, but that kind of stopped. I am going to try to work on some upcoming stuff. It would be more focused on like just on your phone, like Snapchat videos.
Sure.
So more story based on those. Yeah. Things like that. Instagram videos. Think more where the attention span for the people nowadays.
It's true.
It just
it has to be like 15 seconds or less. If you do anything more than that, they just turn it off.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at with that.
Very cool. All right. Well, Jorge, we've just done a complete interview. I don't have any more questions for you, but I think it's time for us to do Question Fury, which is a thing here on Go Spurs Go Memes, where we will just ask you a fury of questions, and you just have to answer them to the best of your ability.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Alrighty, fight. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray versus Jorge.
Here we go. That's later.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Question Fury, here we go. Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Bud Light or Miller Light?
Bud Light.
Marvel or DC?
Ooh, baby, Marvel.
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Are you kidding me? Whataburger.
I like In-N-Out. That's just me.
Oh, no.
HEB.
He's not from Texas.
HEB. I am. HEB or Walmart?
HEB, bruh.
Okay. Favorite Ninja Turtle?
Probably Donatello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite wrestler?
Ooh, you got me. Stone Cold. I don't know.
All right. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show right now or back in the day?
Whatever.
I watch so much TV. I think right now my favorite TV show that I'm kind of hooked on would be Daredevil. On
okay.
Netflix, yeah.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Name a food that is not improved upon with the addition of chocolate or cheese.
What? Wait, say it again?
Name a food that is not improved upon with the addition of chocolate or cheese.
Eggs?
Well, what? Cheese and eggs? No?
I've never put cheese in eggs.
Okay, all right.
That must be I mean, I'm Hispanic, but that's real Hispanic. Yeah, as they hand me a bag full of, the Egg McMuffin.
Egg McMuffin has cheese on it. There you go.
You're right.
All right, well, that's Question Fury. Jorge, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Had a blast as always.
Thank you, man.
You're going to stick around with us. We're going to talk some football.
All right.
And then we're also going to do Star Wars trivia, where it's you versus all of us.
Pew, pew, pew.
Frank and Buddy have kind of put some great questions together. So me, you,
nervous.
Sean, and Jack will go one-on-one with each other. They were giving me some of the questions yesterday just to kind of give me examples, and I was like, I don't know where the hell they're coming up with this crap, because it's like hardcore stuff.
He said you can't even find it on the internet. So that's... I don't think that
George Lucas doesn't even know this stuff.
He doesn't even know Jar Jar's actually the Sith Lord.
All right, guys. We'll be back in just a bit.
The streak is over. The winning is done. The Warriors have lost. Hey guys, Clay here with Spurs in the City. I'm your Go Spurs Go Memes correspondent in the street, and I'm asking Spurs fans their reaction to the Warriors losing their hot streak, and what's their longest streak, and what were they doing? I'm here with a guy right now. Hey, what's your name?
Travis.
Hey, Travis. Nice to meet you. Travis, did you hear about the Warriors losing?
I did, to the Bucks.
Yeah, who loses to the Bucks?
I don't know. They've gotten a little better, I guess.
I don't think so. I think they just literally. I think they bombed that game.
Guess so. They have the Greek freak, but
they could have every freak in the playbook. They would never win. Now listen, what's the longest streak, Travis, that you've ever had? And then what was that streak for?
I have eaten fast food for 90 straight days.
Well, you live in San Antonio, so that's not really a big feat anymore. Travis, where are you from?
San Antonio.
Well, you're kind of like a unicorn, because if you don't eat fast food for longer than 90 days straight, you probably shouldn't live in this city. Nothing against my friends here in San Antonio, but we do love a Whataburger, don't we now, Travis?
Oh, we certainly do.
Now, when you're out fast fooding, what's your place to go?
Whataburger. Gotta love the triple Whataburger with cheese.
Oh, this man knows how to eat. Thank you, Travis. Okay, hey, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Oh, you look like a Jennifer.
Oh, thank you. I feel like one too.
You should. Now, Jennifer, do you have a streak? Have you ever had a streak on anything? And what was the thing you did for how long?
Being awesome since I was born.
And that streak is going right now? I think your streak just broke. As we speak, your streak is over. I mean, no, really. I mean, maybe like not showering or, I don't know, constantly sucking on a lemon. Like, what? I mean, what? That does not feel good, by the way, Jen.
Not. So I will give the most appropriate response. I feel like ever since I became a mom 2 years ago, the streak I'm on now is just being very responsible and always putting someone ahead of myself.
I'm sorry.
I'm on that kind of streak.
I'm sorry. I fell asleep. I thought you were going to say breastfeeding. Okay, I found this guy. You got a Spurs shirt on. What's your name?
Andrew.
Oh, hey, Andrew. Now, Andrew, have you ever had a streak? And if so, what was that streak? What were you doing?
I have a five times in a row champion.
A 5-time in a row champion of what?
Kickball, my friend.
You're a 5-time in a row champion. So you're a 5-time champion. How many did you lose games though throughout?
To back. Yeah, we lost games, but lost games don't matter. It's all about that championship.
So he's got the Cinco. Now, when you say back to back, sounds like a human centipede. Is that the way those wins were?
Only in the winter.
That's disgusting. I'm here with
Charles Claville.
Well, Charles, nice to see you. Now, Charles, have you ever had a streak doing something, not doing something, and what was it, and how long did it last?
Probably a streak of not washing the dishes, man. Like, I can go for weeks and weeks without doing that.
So you're the house that smells like all the...
Yeah, that would be me.
Does your wife get on you like, get on those dishes?
She definitely does, but we just had another baby, and so she don't have time to clean it up herself, so she just watches it pile up until I clean it up.
And now, folks, if you want to know where the seagulls are circling, that would be Charles's house, his mountain of dishes. How long? What's the longest you've gone with dirty dishes in the sink?
Probably 6 days.
That's impressive.
I'm Jacob Quesada.
And Jacob Quesada, like carne Quesada?
Yes.
I love
or like quesadillas.
I love those. Anyway, Jacob, have you ever had a streak? And if so, what was it?
I had a streak of not taking a shower for a month.
Was this last week? Because you're Jacob.
Well, I don't currently wear deodorant. If that's for sure. I'm sorry. I meant to say.
No, I'm talking about exactly what you think I'm talking about, Jacob.
Okay. Yeah. I took a shower. But I was 8, and my mother was under the impression that I was taking a shower because I would turn on the faucet and close the door and turn on the faucet.
Oh, you were like a covert stinky person.
Yeah, kind of. And I would just wet my hair, and I'd come out with a towel and my hair, and I'd be like. My mom would be like, "Oh, did you take a shower?" I'd be like, "Yeah, fine. Yeah, you smell me? I smell good." And she's like, "No."
That's really, really funny and disgusting all
Yeah,
at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jacob. So as you can see, Spurs fans, there's a lot of streaks that I'm really glad got broken. But the Warriors, they're still a top contender in the West. They are on top of the NBA, and our San Antonio Spurs will catch them. Remember, regular season only matters to get into the playoffs. The Warriors will deal with the power that is the silver and black come May and June. For Go Spurs, Go Memes, this is your correspondent in the streets with Spurs in the city. I'm Clay, sending it back to Ray and the other guys in studio. But as always, let's end it out with a good old-fashioned Go Spurs, Go!
And that music means, of course, it's time to talk football. We're going to go into college football first. Jorge's here with us, and then we were going to go into pro football, of course. So Sean, Jack, Jorge, and myself are on the mics right now. Jack, what's going on in college football, buddy?
Bowls have started.
Woohoo!
I was going to sit here and come up with like 5 or 10 bowls that you wanted to see. Of course, outside of the football playoff and all those games. But, we had 3 awesome games yesterday. I just say watch them all. So, yesterday, we opened up, for the first time ever, Division I AA, the FCS, had an actual bowl game. They do the championship, but for the first time they had a bowl game. It was actually between the 2 historically black college or university divisions. North Carolina A&T beat Alcorn State 41-34. Tariq Cohen ran for 295 yards and 3 touchdowns. Crazy amount of publicity for them. Really a great thing. So now they kind of have this, national championship of the historically black college universities, which are great. With FBS games, the New Mexico Bowl, Arizona, got out to a pretty good lead. Both teams had over 500 yards. And Arizona ended up winning, 45-37. New Mexico actually had the ball 40 minutes. Arizona only had the ball 20 minutes.
Oh, hell.
It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Kind of the big news afterwards, Scooby Wright, the All-American linebacker, he has been injured a lot this year. He had a great game, 15 tackles, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for a loss. He's going to play on Sundays, and I think he will do quite well.
That's good. And then Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl, Utah was up 35-0
They were. BYU had
first
5
quarter,
turnovers.
And then BYU came back, but they still lost.
Yep. And that was kind of that was the big game that like everyone was expecting it to be a pretty good game. My favorite game of the day was actually Appalachian State and Ohio, and the Camellia Bowl. I have no idea what that is.
What is it? Raycom Media Camellia Bowl.
Yep. Who knows?
I don't know. I thought it was like Chameleon Bowl.
Yeah. So if you think you're looking at it, then you can't see it.
It's like, wait a minute. Are we here? I don't know.
So Ohio was up for most of the game. Appalachian State actually scored 24 points in the fourth quarter to come back. And Appalachian State was up 5 with 2 or 3 minutes to go. They gave up a safety, so now they were only up. Or no, they were up 4. They gave up a safety. Appalachian State got a safety, so then they were only up 2. Ohio went down, kicked a field goal to go ahead by a point with like a minute and a half left.
Damn.
And then Appalachian State actually kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired.
Wow.
So awesome games, great games. You also had Kenneth Dixon of Louisiana Tech had 215 yards from scrimmage, had 4 total touchdowns. He is now the NCAA career leader in touchdowns.
Wow.
He had a really good one. But upcoming, of course, the next 2.5 weeks are all football.
Yep.
It's absolutely great. My favorite game coming up outside of the college football playoff is going to happen right here in San Antonio, the Alamo Bowl, Oregon and TCU. I think it's going to be a great game. The over-under for it is 78.5 points, which I think they get over.
I would think it would be
by
higher
probably 20 points. But I don't know, guys. What are your other big games that you like?
I want to see A&M and Louisville in the Music City Bowl. Holiday Bowl, USC, Wisconsin. I'm curious how that game goes. And I think that's it. I don't. Michigan and Florida, because I'm curious which Florida team actually shows up for that game.
True.
And I'd like to see Notre Dame versus the Ohio State University. Yeah, and other than that, I really don't care.
Sean,
yeah. Besides the
favorites,
I want to say it was the Athletic Bowl, and I can't. I want to say it was Florida State. Florida State and Houston. I'm interested in seeing if Houston, with Major Applewhite as their offensive coordinator, does it surprise Florida State and really shake them up? I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. Really, the Music City Bowl is one. In fact, last year's Music City Bowl was good with LSU and Notre Dame. Those are becoming better bowls. I'm enjoying those bowls better.
Well, I think you're going to see that now that we have the college playoff, because those teams are going to other bowls, so everyone else kind of moves up some. So we're getting better matchups.
But
okay.
Exciting.
All right, so that's college. Let's go into pros. Sean.
All right, well, this is Sunday, so you know what that means. The Cowboys have already lost. Oh, wait. That's from yesterday.
Ouch.
Stinger.
So the vaunted
and you lost 10
playoff-bound Jets took care of the Cowboys last night with Ryan Fitzpatrick almost throwing 299 yards.
Oh, man, it was crazy. Did you see his face after
No,
the game?
I didn't even get to watch the game. So
y'all didn't see? Yeah, he had a huge gash in his face.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
That's how you know he's a warrior.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, a fighter. I'm going to talk about the games today. The other Texas team that we have coming on is the Texans playing the Colts today.
That's a big game.
Go Texans.
Go Texas. Colts are favored by 1.5 points. I am picking the Texans. Anybody else want to throw an option out there?
I would love to see the
thinking-
Texans win,
yeah.
but I don't think they can do it.
No, I'm thinking Colts too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be the first time they ever beat the Colts at home, too, if it does happen. So that'll be interesting. We have the Bears playing at Vikings. The Bears are a trash fire, and the Vikings have been losing lately. So I'm actually thinking the Vikings just because they got to pick somebody. We got Falcons going to Jaguars in the Who Cares Bowl. Who wants to watch? I mean, does anybody have any inclination to watch that?
I'm a Falcons fan, so yes.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah.
I forget you.
I mean, they've
you like
sucked
Atlanta, so.
ever since like week 6, but
Yeah, we talked about that, Jeff.
Yeah.
How they were
Sad
pretty
day.
good, and then they just kind of fell
Panthers
apart.
and Giants.
Panthers.
You know what? I want the Giants to win.
No.
I'm really
I kind of want to see Carolina keep winning.
Yeah, I want Carolina.
Really?
to go
I don't
undefeated.
mind it. I mean,
No, yeah.
Carolina's not going to have Jonathan Stewart,
From where
it's gonna be tough.
so they don't have.
from where Cam Newton was last year.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
In,
To
on
now.
the like in
MVP.
a car accident and the
Yeah.
whole, like the whole nine to now is crazy.
It is.
But you know, you always want to see that team lose, just like Golden State when they lost against the Bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you always want that kind of little. So I don't know.
Always.
It'd be kind of cool.
No, I completely agree. The biggest spread of the week is actually the Titans going to the Patriots at 14.5.
The Pats.
Now the question is, do they cover 14.5?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I agree. All right, we have we have the Bills playing the Redskins in Washington. I think this is actually going to be a decent game. I see Washington actually winning, but not winning by more than 3.
So just to clarify, Cowboys are out of playoff. They can't make the playoffs now.
What?
And
Dun dun.
and so who's leading the NFC East right now? Is it Washington
It's
still?
Washington right
Yeah.
now, and if they win,
But all
they,
three of the
if they
teams-
win out, it's they're
Yeah.
If
that's
they win
theirs.
out, they go.
They've got the tiebreakers.
they
but
got all the
3 of those
tiebreakers.
teams are 6 and 7.
Okay.
So we have that. The Redskins still are surprising people. Gruden as a coach, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I really didn't think he was going to be anything good. I really thought his brother was the whole talent in the family, but evidently his brother can coach. So
Okay.
good for him. We have the Chiefs going to the Ravens. The Chiefs have had a 5-game losing streak this year and also a 7-game winning streak this year. Pretty impressive when you think about it.
No, that's talent.
That's-
And they're in
right
playoff
there.
contention.
And
So they're
you know what?
positive 2 for the year.
They're kind of scary because people were like, oh, they're 8 games behind, and now I think they're only behind
They've got the second
Denver.
team in the wild card.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got that. We have the Browns going to the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been looking fantastic lately. We got a 14.5 point spread. Jack, Johnny Manziel, what do you think?
gonna do
Headed to
nothing.
Dallas next year?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
All right, we got the Packers going to the Raiders. The Raiders have been looking better every game.
The Packers have been looking worse and worse. Just my opinion, but
Yeah, and Green Bay is favored by 4 points. I'm thinking the Raiders are actually going to surprise and win out.
nice.
So we got that. We got Broncos at Steelers, which actually I think is going to be a decent
That
game.
should be a good game.
Steelers have been playing great lately. Dolphins at Chargers. Ugh. Frank,
Both teams.
I mean, what are you going to expect?
And then we have
Los Tigres del Norte.
Los Tigres del
versus
Norte
the 49ers
versus
of
the
San
49ers.
Let me see. Los Tigres are favored by 6.5 points. They will be without
They should cover that.
Dalton since he
Yeah.
has
Ooh,
an
I forgot about
injured
that.
thumb.
He broke his thumb.
It
last
should
week.
be interesting. The
Killed my
49ers
fantasy.
have been playing better. Anything going to be close? I don't think so. I still think the Bengals are still too strong. So we got that. And finally, the main game, Cardinals at Eagles.
Battle of the
Cardinals look completely amazing
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
The Eagles can either turn it on or turn it off. The only question is, where's it going to be? Is the lights going to be on or off? I say off.
Yeah,
Cardinals.
I agree.
I don't think it matters.
It does matter. I have some players in my playoff.
I have a vested interest in that game.
I
There you
need
go.
the Cardinals to do well.
And other than that, that is pro football this week.
All right.
Do we have a little time?
Yeah, we got 5.
I did a little bit of research.
Thank you,
I
Jack.
got bored yesterday.
Science, bitches.
The best bowl game swag. So, of course, when teams go to a bowl game, the players get like little goodie bags and different things like that.
Yeah, bags of money.
And I
Spirit bags.
found an article that kind of compiled that from everything. So these are some of the best gift bags that bowl teams will get. At the Russell Athletic Bowl, each player will get a $350 Best Buy shopping spree, a timely watch, iSlide footwear. Not bad.
I could be on the bench and
get a bag.
Get those.
Yep.
And get that bag.
You could be hurt.
Or get the bag.
Or the band. Or red shirt.
Or the band, yeah.
Did they give it to the band too?
No, I don't think so.
No, I was going to say.
The band gets...
They get to take a bus to the game.
Yeah,
they don't even get
that's
to
true,
fly.
So if you play in the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, which I've never even heard of that bowl game, every player is going to get custom-made cowboy boots.
You're kidding.
That's actually really cool.
That's kind of expensive.
That's really expensive.
I'm like, that's kind of expensive.
Another one of my favorites, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Oh God, free Chick-fil-A.
A $300 vanilla Visa gift card, which I don't know what it makes it a vanilla.
You can only
Just
buy
the
white
logo.
stuff with it.
Just vanilla?
Who knows? They get a Fossil watch, a Bluetooth speaker, a Chick-fil-A gift card worth
$500.
$10.
That's
Well, hey, but to be fair, you could buy a sandwich for $1, probably. Well, no, actually.
It's like
no.
$3.50.
No,
for
you're
a
right.
sandwich.
You're right.
Chicken ain't cheap, kids.
I think here's got to be my favorite though, the Quick Lane Bowl. They get a pair of JBL headphones.
Nice.
Those are good. Yeah.
Also a $200 Best Buy gift card.
Okay.
Every player gets a life-size decal with his likeness,
Like a fathead.
like a fathead
Of himself.
of himself.
That's pretty awesome.
But
That
it's
is
a
kind of cool.
likeness.
Of like, yeah, it's like a off-brand or what? Like,
Well, I'm wondering, how do they set that up? Like, do they have a team meeting where they take everyone's picture in whatever pose they want, or do they?
No, I bet
no,
you they
it's all
have-
in action.
Yeah, I bet, or that, or they already have like their promo images, like when they make people
okay,
do
yeah,
that,
that
and they
makes
just, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I thought that was
Anything else?
interesting.
I think Best Buy's showing up pretty good.
Dude,
this
Best
game.
Buy,
I think
$200?
I think they're
Jeez.
begging people to go into Best Buy because nobody
Yeah.
goes into Best Buy anymore.
in fact, I've been in 4 Best Buys in the last week trying to find Christmas gifts for folks. Every one of them is super packed.
That's crazy because
no, yeah.
I went into the Rim the other day and it was dead. Like,
Really?
there was nobody there.
It just depends on the time because I used to work at Best Buy for a
So did I.
Christmas season.
Yep.
And it was ridiculous on the amount of people that would like go in and out of that store.
Well, you see, it's funny you say that because for me, I thought the craziest, of course, was Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And then so that whole weekend, it was absolute nuts. But then after that, it wasn't really busy.
Yeah, the beginning of the year is kind of slow.
Yes.
But again, you got all sorts of stuff coming out, so I would imagine they're doing okay. And then for them to be giving out gift cards like that, that's nuts.
That's crazy.
So can we assume that every player that got one of those $350 gift cards, they're walking out with an Xbox One?
Yes, with Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes, Star Wars edition, PS4, yeah.
Exactly.
Alrighty, 2 of them.
All right, guys, that's football. We'll be back in a bit. Star Wars trivia up next.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Star Wars Trivia. We're in a galaxy far, far away on a planet called Tatooine. We're inside of a bar, and, well, it looks like we're ready to begin. What we're going to do is ask some Star Wars trivia. Whoever gets it right moves on.
All right. So thank you, Jorge. That was an
That was pretty
amazing
good.
intro.
It
That
really
was an
was.
amazing intro. So let me just explain the rules of the game and we've already played these games several times, but you guys, the audience already knows how this works already. So what ends up happening is I will ask a question, and when you want to buzz in, you're going to buzz in with either the buzzer, one of the two, and if you get it right, you get the ding.
Ooh.
If you get it wrong,
You get the buzzer.
pretty simple. My little co-producer here will be keeping track of the score here. He hates when I call him that. He will be keeping track of the score, and the prize winner gets the rest of that Egg McMuffin in the bag.
Oh my God. There's a lot on the line, guys.
I have a feeling this is going to be very violent.
Again,
All right.
Go Spurs Go Memes brings it 100% legit.
We bring it full blast. Is what we do. So
Here we go.
So here we go.
There we go.
I actually added music into this, guys.
I'm kind of breathing like Darth Vader now.
Because you're nervous.
I know.
Don't be too nervous, okay?
All right.
So, I'm going to start easy here for most of you guys, okay? So, first one is going to be, what planet was Princess Leia the princess of?
Alderaan.
And Ray
Alderaan.
is correct. All right, good job, Ray. She is the.
It's it's pronounced Alderaan.
Somebody says. I think somebody in the movie does say Alderaan.
See,
I
thank
don't
you
know
very
who it
much.
does, but whatever. We're gonna go.
Duran
with it.
Duran.
They never went there.
Yeah, they.
Ray's gonna be like,
Didn't
okay,
go
so if
there.
Ray gets these like in like 2 words or something like that, then he's gonna be out of the game because he's super annoying when he gets like this.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm super annoying. How dare you?
okay, so
How dare you speak up to me like that?
here we go with the number two question.
Question
okay?
number 2.
In how many languages is C-3PO fluent in?
Ooh.
Oh, that would be Mr. Jorge.
All of them.
Read that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then all his cards
Throwing
fell
his
out.
credit cards at me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry
so
about that.
anybody else got a clue on that?
I think it was like
Wait. No. Don't say.
no.
Okay, Sean.
In over 4,000 different languages.
No.
I'm gonna say 10,000. I didn't buzz in, but 10,000.
Yeah, okay, everybody's wrong. So we're just gonna leave that.
225.
Good lord, we were not even close. All right, so we're gonna leave that one out. Okay.
But no, it's
Well, you got to tell us the answer.
No, I'm gonna leave that until later. I might come back to that one. I'll have to let you guys keep.
We
it
don't know it now. We're not gonna know it
okay,
then.
Okay, it's over more than 6 million.
sick. I said all of them.
That's not all.
That's a little less.
That's a little less than all. Okay, moving forward. Okay, we're going to go into this. This is a pretty easy one, right? Who is the only Rebel X-Wing fighter pilot to survive all 3 of the first movies that included both Death Stars? And
Wedge.
Right. Okay. What's his last name?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just know Wedge. I don't know what his last name
Anybody
is.
know his last name?
I want to say it's Antilles.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
I think Sean gets the point for that.
I believe it's Mr. Antilles.
Mr. Mr.
Well, you can't give Sean the point for that.
Okay. No, okay. Look, I'll give you guys an extra point here. Okay. There is an actual bonus question.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give you an extra point on this. Okay.
Which X-Wing did he fly?
there was
Red Vaughn.
The actor who I have no idea who the name of the actor is. Right. He actually is an uncle to another guy who was in the movies as well. So who was he the uncle to?
Han Solo.
Oh God, no.
Peter Mayhew.
I'm thinking
Mark Hamill? I
Yeah,
don't know.
Mark Hamill.
No, actually, no. Anybody? No more.
Nobody.
One last guess. I would say
One more guess.
Leia.
No.
No.
And it's actually in the newer ones. Actually.
Oh.
He's actually the uncle to Ewan McGregor. Ironically.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I found that out just all weird, right?
Would have the
Okay.
genes.
Next.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Who was Anakin Skywalker's chief pod race rival in The Phantom Menace? That would be Jorge.
Sebulba.
Very good. Wow.
Awesome job. Yes,
Did the voice and everything.
Yeah.
with the whole like weird leg thing and the.
Oh, that was
He was really
wasn't his leg.
super duper creepy.
Did anybody else play the Pod Racer game for 64? Nobody?
Yes, actually, it was a good game. Right?
Loved it.
It was great.
I would go to. I would
Did
go
anyone
to,
go to the arcade? The arcade
Yeah, I would do the arcade one.
The arcade
I felt like because my uncles are in the lawn business, so I always felt like those lawnmowers, the lawn dogs or whatever they're called.
the lawn.
That's how you know you're a chunti, right there.
That's actually really good. That was really good. Okay.
Okay.
That was really good. Okay, so next one I will go with something easy. What actor played Lando Calrissian?
Calrissian.
That was Billy D. Williams.
Very good.
Billy D.
Very Billy
Colt
D.
45.
It's the intergalactic malt liquor.
The intergalactic malt liquor.
Did that guy come out in any other movies after that?
Yes, Batman.
Yes, he wasn't He was Harvey Dent.
He was Harvey Dent in Batman.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That's the
And I
role
know
that
there's-
I remember.
I know
him
there's
most
other
as.
movies that he's been in too.
Yeah, we're complete losers. All right, got it.
Totally joking.
Oh, he was also in Undercover Brother.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We have Batman and Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother.
Okay, next question. Well, I'll go with an easy one here. What planet do Wookiees come from?
Oh,
Wait, no, that was who was first?
What is Kashyyyk?
Very
damn, I
good,
knew that
Sean.
one.
Good job, Sean.
That is not a question.
Anybody know how to spell Kashyyyk?
Starts with a K.
That's good enough, Ray.
Yeah, I can't
Sean.
spell it. I can't spell it.
No, but it has 2 YYs in it. It's weird. It's KASHYYK.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? I don't even understand why they even needed to know how to spell it, but whatever. Anyways, moving forward.
Because nerds demand answers.
That's exactly why. All right, next question. What color was Mace Windu's lightsaber?
Oh, come on.
What is purple?
Very good, Sean. Very good.
He's asking a question. I don't think you have to answer in question form.
What? Yeah, this is not Jeopardy.
This isn't Jeopardy, Sean.
I want to play by all the rules, guys.
Okay. He's
I'll play by
covering
whatever
every
rules I
base.
want to do.
Okay, next.
All right, next question. What is the name of Boba Fett's ship? Oh, wait, that would be Jorge.
Boba Fett, Slave One.
Yes, very good. Slave One, very good. You know, it's weird. You know that I'm surprised that people know that because I didn't remember seeing the name of it.
I don't think it was ever.
It was ever referenced. It's just like a outer thing, but it's Slave One.
God, that comes to show how much I pay attention. Okay, next question. What does the TIE in TIE Fighter stand for? Jorge.
Twin something engine. Oh, what is it?
Wait,
twin.
Come on.
What's the I?
Say the letter.
Twin Interceptor.
No.
Wrong.
Twin Oh, what is it?
Oh.
I literally.
Okay, we're gonna give Sean an
tie.
Wait. Let's give Sean a question.
Twin ion.
No,
There you go,
I
Sean.
knew it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sean
man.
gets it.
That's terrible.
Man, Sean is. So is Sean like a secret nerd here that we didn't know about this?
Secret.
I've always been out.
Secret. We know he's a nerd.
I've always been out. Like, are you referencing like out of the closet?
He's out of the nerd closet.
Star Wars closet. I got
Star
my
Woods
Wookiee
closet.
costume
Oh, there it is.
He's out of the lab.
If you guys want to play Deep Space Nine trivia next week, I'll be dead.
Oh wow.
Pretty
How
deep.
deep? How deep space?
9.
No.
All right.
Next one. Okay, we're gonna go with a hard one here. Where was Luke Skywalker originally headed to pick up power converters?
Oh hell!
Nah, this one's a hard one.
Power converters.
This is in the first verse.
I'm just gonna say Mos Eisley.
No.
I have no idea.
All right.
Think about it.
Yeah, this one's a hard one. This is called Tosh Station. Is what it's called.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's a
Oh,
hard
I
one.
knew that.
That's a difficult
Yeah.
one. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Next
How many
one.
people are cringing at our answers right now? Like that's a
Somebody's
thing.
probably throwing their phone.
Yeah.
Why did they ask me to play?
Okay. The next one is going to be a who said it. Okay. So who said it?
Okay.
From here, you will. Whoa, you're chill. From here, you will witness the final destruction of the Alliance and the end of your insignificant rebellion. That will be Ray.
The Emperor Palpatine.
Very good,
Yeah.
Ray. All right.
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Emperor Pantene. He had wonderful hair.
Pantene. Have you seen the Pantene commercial for Wookiee, for Chewbacca?
No.
So funny. It's just Chewbacca like with a side like really like kind of sexy face, and then his hair is gorgeous.
Oh my God, I gotta see that.
It's so funny.
That's a really good one. I gotta see that. Okay, we'll do another who said it. Okay.
All right.
The next who said it.
That's
is,
the one. L'Oreal
Let
is
me
what
see.
it
We'll
is.
take a look.
L'Oreal.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, who said it? This bounty hunter is my kind of scum, fearless and inventive. Go ahead.
I think
Wait.
Ray beat me.
I didn't
That
touch
was me.
anything.
Okay, Jorge, go.
Darth Vader?
No.
I'm thinking it's Jabba the Hutt.
Very good.
Oh.
He actually said good job.
But he said it in a different language.
Exactly, but it says translate on the bottom.
Pizza Uta.
Jabba no Baba.
He goes something like that. He has like this little weird inflection in his name and everything. That's pretty cool. Moving forward. Okay, this one should be pretty easy. What were Luke's aunts and uncle's job on Tatooine? That will be Jorge.
They were farmers.
What kind of farmers?
They were
Yeah, this is important.
Egg farmers.
No. Oh, you remember?
I got it.
Okay, Sean.
What are water farmers? Or moisture farmers?
There we go.
What?
Good job. It's moisture farmers. He's
So
right.
arid, they had to gather water.
That's a thing? That was a thing?
It was
was
a
a
thing on
thing.
Tatooine.
I thought it was like
That was a thing there and in Phoenix.
wah wah wah.
That's
All right.
a horrible joke.
Still wanted.
All right, here we go. Sweet Jesus. All right, here's an easy one, guys. What species was Jar Jar Binks? That would be Jorge.
Oh my god, it just went out. It just left me. He is Misa
Misa annoying.
he is Oh my gosh.
Strong with the stupidity is what he was.
All right, I give up. I thought I had it right on
okay.
the tip of my tongue.
I thought I had it,
Great.
but it's gone.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Sean.
What is Gungan?
Gungan.
Gungan, there you go.
How could
See,
I
I was gonna say Naboo, but
Yeah,
that's the people.
Gungan.
Nabooian. All right, so
Gungan.
I'm sorry, all my
let's
Star
update
Wars
the score.
friends.
Let's update the score a little bit here. Let me
All right,
see.
quarter
Check that out,
10.
Frank. It's going to be Jorge 2, Ray 4, Sean 6.
There you go.
Sean and Jack.
Sean and Jack. We're gonna do the Sean and Jack team because actually,
Jack's phone.
because Jack's exactly. So, okay, so here we go. So we need
catch
we
up.
have some room to make up for him.
Okay.
Here we go.
Next one.
He's worth 5.
Yeah, actually, I think
No,
we
no,
let's.
no, no, no.
That Sean wants to win. Okay, here we go. What species stole the plans to the Death Star? I think that was the wrong button. I think
That wasn't me.
Oh, that was the wrong button.
But Jorge clicked in first, so I'll give him.
It was the stole the plans to the
Death Star.
Death Star. What species?
Species. No, wait, hang on. Give him a second.
It was
We got
stole the plan. I thought it was R2. It was a droid.
No.
Okay, so wait.
Ewok.
No, God, Jesus. No. Wait, who clicked in next?
It should be Sean. I didn't
Okay,
click
go
anyway.
ahead, Sean.
What are boffins?
Very good. Many Bothan spies died as a result of these plans. They
well,
do
that's
say
that's
that
next
on
year,
there.
man. Rogue One. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say Whovians.
What the hell?
One of the Grinch came out.
You're talking about Doctor Who fans or what?
Interesting question. Actually, interesting tidbit about this when I was doing the research on this. There's actually
Yes, people, we did do research on
I
this.
actually do research for this stuff, right? They actually had one of the characters in the first one when Vader was looking for the Millennium Falcon. He hired all those bounty hunters and stuff like that. One of those characters was in a Doctor Who show.
Well, actually, no. The guy
one of
that
the costumes.
the guy that he chokes out. What's his name? Oh, people are gonna hate me for this one. The guy
Admiral,
that,
whatever.
Yeah, Admiral. That guy. He was Doctor Who, and he was also in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So he was the only one in all three
Doctor.
like mediums of
Ah,
crazy.
of
So
nerdness.
Which one did he? Which one did they choked out? Which one are we talking about?
one of the
In the first
guys.
movie,
Yeah, in the first.
New Hope,
When they
you
were
find
in the
this lack
circle?
of faith.
Yeah,
Disturbing.
that guy.
Oh, wow, I gotta look that
he's in Star Wars. He's in
Admiral.
Star Trek, and he's been a
not
doctor in
Admiral.
a TV BBC
That's
like,
a
special.
trap.
Man, I gotta look that one up.
That's a trap.
It's a trap.
Next.
All right.
I loved how they used him in this new one.
Yeah, it was good. Okay,
Next.
next one. What was the name of the famous sound effect that can be heard in every Star Wars movie? That will be Jorge. Very good reenactment.
Wilhelm scream.
Wilhelm scream. Very good.
Can you please do that again?
Go ahead.
Just do it one.
I got something on my throat.
Actually in Force Awakens too.
Yeah,
I heard it.
What is it?
But isn't it in every action movie? It's pretty much in every action movie.
Well, Steven Spielberg uses it.
everybody
Everybody
does.
uses it.
It
It's
was made specifically for that.
It's an
because
old.
It's
like if
so
you look
bad.
it up. Yeah,
It's so bad. Like it's like the worst over-exaggerated scream ever.
I forget what
Just
year
Google
it
it.
happened, but yeah, no, some guy
I'll
died.
play it
and
for you
they
guys during the
used
break.
Get your Google ready.
All right. Next one, guys. What was Princess Leia's last name? Very good. Jorge.
No.
No.
Oh,
He's out.
Why would I
He's
say
out,
that?
he's out.
Why would I say that?
Organa.
Why would I
Organa.
say
Very
that?
good. Very good.
I cannot believe I said that.
It's like when you call a girl by the wrong name. Oh man.
No, yeah. I promise. No, I'm
All
sorry.
right. We got 2 minutes left. Let's go into something
That
a little bit
hurt.
more
That hurt me.
difficult
That
here.
hurt me saying that.
All right, guys. What was the name of the planet the
Amygdala.
clones were created on?
Oh no.
That was
That's not me.
That's not you. Okay, so I'll
That's
go
not me.
Sean.
Oh, okay. It was not Geonosis. It was
Oh, you gave the answer. You're out. Okay, so I'll go with Ray.
No, I didn't. Preston,
Oh,
I don't
nobody
know
know the answers?
I don't know the answer to that one. Do you know Jorge?
Jorge?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Whoville.
Okay, so I'll give Sean a chance then.
no, I don't.
No. Okay, so the name of the planet, Camino.
Camino. It was like I was thinking. It was like it sounds like a car.
That's close.
Chevy makes.
I would have
El
gone with
Camino.
Trans Am.
Okay, so the next
All right.
Ario, next question. Which hand did Luke lose to his first battle with Darth Vader? That will be Ray.
His left.
Wrong.
He's right. It was his right. He was right. Oh, how could you forget that?
I thought it was the left.
He's a prime.
That's why I'm looking at it from this, and I thought it was. So I'm thinking the
Oh
left.
my goodness.
That was a,
It's true.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why
I
you
thought
need to
it was.
watch a
that's
movie.
That's what I thought
exactly
it
what
was.
it is.
But
All right.
then again, I'm losing. So
Okay, we've got a couple more questions here, guys. This one here. I'm sorry, give me a second. What was the name of Darth Vader's Superstar Destroyer? That would be Jorge.
Superstar Destroyer. That Death Star? That's the Superstar Destroyer.
No, it's the destroyer that he was on when he traveled anywhere.
Oh, his main, like his ship.
Yeah.
Spaceball 1.
No. Hey, they're making They're making a sequel.
The chase for more
Original,
money.
yeah.
Yes.
Chase for more money. Okay, anybody know?
I don't know.
All right, the name is the Executor.
I knew that too. I did know that.
Did you know that?
I knew that.
You did knew that?
I did know that.
I did knew that.
I did know that.
Executor trench coat.
We're losing everybody really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
here. Okay,
Everyone's already
I've got
turned us off.
how much time I got for? 0. I got 0. Okay, so then we got the last question. This
All right,
what's the score right
worth
now?
20
What's the
points.
score?
This last one's worth 20.
Okay, so the score right now, the update is Ray is at 5, Sean is at 7, and Jorge is at 4. So this next question is
Worth
going to
10.
count for 10 points. So this will basically win you the game here.
All right,
okay?
here we go.
So,
I want this McMuffin.
Here we go. It's going to be.
Oh, shoot.
What does the AT-AT stand for? Oh, that's going to be Jorge. He clocked in first.
The look on Jorge.
The AT-AT.
The at. We'll go with that.
At. It's a alternate twin.
No, Jesus. No, stop. Okay, so
Sean knows this.
Sean.
I'll let Ray.
No, I don't know it. I don't.
Oh, okay, well, let
I don't
Ray.
know it.
Sean.
All terrain, all the time. Boom.
Oh.
That's
Wow.
not
Is that it?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
That's not it.
Ray, you want to take a chance on it?
Business in the front, party in the back. I don't know.
Okay, it's going to be all-terrain armored transport. Okay,
That's what I said.
I get 5.
Did not
I'm
say
just
that.
kidding.
Oh God. Okay, so
one more.
Okay,
more.
we're gonna
Just
do one more here because
Just-
somebody's got to get.
Somebody's got to win this.
Okay,
is
this one's
freaking
actually
ridiculous.
pretty easy. Okay, so
Okay,
this will count for 10 points. Where did Luke Skywalker shoot Womp Rats in his T-16? That will be Jorge.
Tatooine.
But where in Tatooine?
What do you mean where in
He says it specifically where he goes.
I don't believe it.
Go to the Sarlacc pits.
No.
No.
Sean? Anybody? Oh my God.
Give
Give us a
That was
super
actually
easy
really
one.
easy.
Like
That was super easy. Actually, that one is
What-
going to be Beggars Canyon. He talks about shooting
Beggars,
at Beggars Canyon back home. That's what
Here,
he's
how
talking
about this one? What droid is featured in all 7 movies? C-3PO. Thank you.
I have actually no more thing, so we're just going to go with what we have here. So Sean is the winner
wins.
at 7 points. He is now the proud owner,
Sean and Jack.
and Jack are now the proud owner
Of an
the
Egg
sausage-
McMuffin.
of
Here
the
you go.
sausage McMuffin.
Here it is.
So
to
thank
rub
you
it on
all
yourself
for
before you get to
playing.
That's Star Wars trivia. We'll be back in a bit. And that brings us to the end of our podcast. I'd like to thank everybody in studio with me today, and of course, our friend Jorge Alvarez for jumping in and spending some time with us today. We will be back next week. Thank you guys as always. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And as always, go Spurs, go.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I know. Give me a second here. Okay.
Everybody knows your mom.